it's a nature connected practice, which I call earth journaling, and it's a bit of a mashup between art journaling, journaling, and going out into nature and having an experience and awareness of how you feel. So it's nothing more complicated than literally going out for a walk, but you're going out for a walk with an intention. So, and the invitation is always to begin with entering into a dialogue with whatever captures your attention, what you feel drawn to, what the heart is pulled towards. So for me, you probably picked up on it. I love birds, so I'm often drawn towards, the cry of a buzzard. I'll hear it, I'll look up, and then I'll follow the buzzard for a bit if I can, in terms of where it's going, or like with the egret and the lapwings. But for other people, it might be something completely different. It could be a tree, it could be a flower, it could be a branch, it could be the flow of water, it could be a puddle, a leaf. It can literally be anything. It's just starting to notice how this almost like a call and response gesture that you can start to engage in, and then you just hold that really lightly and become I use the word inquiry, but it's just being curious, really. That's all you're doing. You just actually think, well, that's interesting, so I wonder why I noticed that, and where's that taking me, and then what's there when I get there, and then how do those two things connect to each other, and then how does that maybe connect to me in this moment, and then how maybe does that connect to my wider story that I tell myself about myself. So you can sort of you can go around in sort of these little spirals. But to begin with, my suggestion for people is just to go out with an open heart and just notice what catches your attention and what you think, oh wow, I've never seen that before, and go and pay attention to whatever you've noticed. And I say enter into a relationship with it, so if people think, well, that's a bit weird, what do you mean by that? And all I mean by that is just become pay it some attention. So just notice the color of if it's a leaf, for example, or a tree, you're noticing its size, you're noticing its position in relation to other trees or shrubs, you're noticing the texture, the bark, any sort of mosses or fungi that might be growing around there. You're just really doing what you would do if you were in a bar and you saw someone that you quite liked and you thought, well, I want to spend a bit of time with that person, I'm just going to go and have a closer look. And then what you can do with it, you can, I invite people to take a photo if they want to. They don't have to take a photo. What you can do is you can make some image in that location just by gathering some various materials that you might find, and just see what wants to appear. And then the opportunity for you then, if you want to continue in that way, is that then you can record what your experience is in a little book of some kind, and you can start to make some sort of images and sketches. And then if you're really feeling adventurous, you can start to play with paints, and you can start to feel the texture of the paint, and you can start to find ways to make an expression of what you're seeing and noticing, and then your connection to that and your relationship to that. So it's a very personal practice, but it's a practice that you can you can do it solo, which is great. You don't need any special equipment. I always say to people, use your common sense. Think about where you're going, how long you're going to be out. Make sure your safety is paramount. And then, then you've got the opportunity, if you wanted to expand it with a group of people, and then you can start to have a conversation and a dialogue around, what did you notice, and what information did that offer to you, and people can then be able to share that. And I think the sharing bit is the really intriguing aspect for me, because we so quickly want to get into interpretation. Oh, well, that must mean this, or that must mean that. And the beauty is to try and just suspend the interpretation and just listen to what the other individual has to say and has to share. And just, again, it's bringing that information out so it has a presence, but you don't have to do anything with it.